Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you already know, this is your U.S. General. 5-drawer tool card with side tray and deep compartment. Today is Wednesday, as you can see. We just now making it back over to the storage unit, getting back to it, getting busy as always. All right. In today's segment, I would like to give a little follow-up to yesterday's preview and demonstration and discussion to clarify quite a few things. In yesterday's video, if you follow the content and you follow the videos, you would know that I demonstrated a Duralast 10-piece 10mm socket set, okay, which came with two magnetic impact sockets within the set, which is a non-tool truck brand, just as well as I did also show an actual tool truck brand magnetic power socket, which is made by Snap-on, okay. So there's going to be quite a few things that I'm going to point out in this particular video to clarify, some speculation to some of the information that I was putting out yesterday, just as well as there's going to be quite a few other things I'm going to give you the opportunity to take a look at, just as well as myself, some things that I have came across just in case, the tool community out there never seen them before. And it'll possibly, maybe the first time that you're seeing them. If not, leave a comment. All right. And so that we can, communicate and see what's out there, for the best bang for the buck, whether for, normal standard homeowners, DIYers, individuals who do not wrench professionally, to the individuals who are professional tradesmen and who do wrench professionally. Okay. But as I always state, as usual, I always keep my signature lingering somewhere in the background. My Dunkin' Donuts coffee. You already know. Okay? So pretty much I'm about to get some contents out to the top of the tool cart. We're going to get quite a few different visuals. Not just amongst the tools, but I'm going to go online to one of the tablets because I would like to show you quite a few things that, just might be something new to you. If the information can help you, then it is what it is. All right? So we're going to dive right into it. So walk with me. Let's get it. Now that I have a few items out at the top of the tool cart, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown and brief of description to, what the individual items basically are. All right. We're going to start back up over here. All right. These are your Snap-on magnetic power sockets. Okay, which in yesterday's video I was demonstrating and talking about how these sockets actually have an industrial finish. Okay, but these are not impact graded. So for the individuals out there who always thought that the Snap-on magnetic sockets were impact graded, in today's video I'm gonna bring a little light to that. All right. If you followed yesterday's video, you would know that I did a demonstration with this 10-piece Duralast set. This is a set that comes from AutoZone, which comes with two magnetic impact sockets. The one that you see here is a 1/4 inch, and this is 3/8 shallow. Care. Okay. Moving along, as you can see over here are two Torx. This is a T40 and a T50 that you see here. Once again, back over here, this is also a Snap-on magnetic adapter with a ball detent. Okay. As you can see here, okay, this is a set of nut drivers, and as you can see, the brand name is Warrior. If I'm not mistaken, this is a product of Harbor Freight. If I'm not mistaken, these were given to me quite some time ago. Never really used them, okay, because I do actually have other magnetic nut drivers, just as well as standard handles and things like that when it comes to Milwaukee, just as well as with your normal standard Milwaukee nut drivers that you see here that would normally come with your drill and bit and accessory kits. Okay, but I tend to use some of these items less due to the fact of my 1/4 inch hex, and I also have a 1/4 inch stubby with a friction ring. Okay, as you can see here, this is also a magnetic adapter on a 1/4 inch hex shank, just as well as a 1/4 inch hex shank Milwaukee 3/8 adapter. All right. So first, what I want to do is I want to start off with the snap-on magnetic power sockets. Okay, when doing the comparison yesterday amongst the two, all right, I also stated in that video that I do believe that Cornwell distributes a set in 1/4 inch. I'm not quite sure whether they distribute them in 3/8 drive, but I believe that they do have a 1/4 inch set that is magnetic impact graded. There are a couple of subscribers and a couple of individuals I know out there amongst the YouTube community who actually do own them. Okay, so they can clarify it a little bit much more. Okay, because they actually do have those particular items in hand, like, you know, my good friend CP the Tool Addict and my other good friend Blazebox on YouTube. If you've never seen their channels, you know, look for their channels, like, subscribe, and things of that nature. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get over here to my tablet. I'm going to get up the Snap-on website so that we can take a look at the specs. Okay, so that I can show you how these Snap-on impact power sockets are technically not impact graded. Okay, so if you ever thought that they were impact graded, this is going to be an opportunity to put the information out there so that it can be corrected. All right, so let's get it. Okay, the 10mm socket that you are taking a look at right here, okay, as you can see, I'm here on Snap-on website, all right, and as you can see, this one particular socket goes for $37 before taxes and shipping and things of that nature. Okay, so now we're going to go into the site, and as you can see, this is a 1/4 inch drive, 6-point metric, 10mm flank drive, a deep magnetic power socket. So as you can see, it actually states that it's a power socket. Okay, now for the skepticism, if you ever thought that these sockets was impact graded, this is how you are able to distinguish that they are not impact graded. Okay, because this is the warnings that they give you, and it shows you an impact wrench showing you not to impact, just as well as to wear safety glasses. Okay, it also gives you its specs, so you see that it is 10mm, and the finish style is an industrial finish style with 6-point metric. Okay, so just to give you another brief description of the socket again, as you can see, the part number is MGMMS10A. Okay, this is the same exact socket that you would see here. Okay, so that now you know that basically these sockets are not impact graded. When you go to an impact socket, no matter what dimension, measurement, or size, in the warnings, if it's impact graded, you will never see that symbol. Okay, so just to give you a little clear visual of that real quick, let's get it. Okay, real briefly, in the search engines, as you can see, I just typed in impact sockets. Okay, so I go, and just a deep, no matter what impact socket it is, as you can see, this is 3/8 drive, 6-point metric, 10mm flank drive, deep impact. Okay, and see now as you go down to the specifications and you see the warnings, you don't see absolutely no impact wrench or warning for non-impacting, because this socket is an impact socket. Okay, so this is just to clarify, you know, if you ever thought that the Snap-on magnetic power sockets was impact graded, no, they are not impact graded. All right, okay, moving along. All right, as what we're taking a look at back here, all right, which you have your Snap-on magnetic socket adapters with a ball detent. Okay, and as you can see, this has a tip at the top which is magnetic. When you get a socket on this adapter, this tip sits through the center, okay, which enables it to stick to a fastener. In the past, in some videos, I have done a demonstration to show that the magnets, when it comes to these adapters here, are really not that strong. In my personal opinion, I don't necessarily suggest these adapters right here. The better option is always the magnetic power socket. Okay, when either using it to start a fastener, all right, which I do not suggest to do with an impact wrench. I actually use the magnetic power sockets on removal purposes, not driving purposes. Okay. Now, even though these are stated here, the Duralast, that they are impact graded, see, I always find an issue with that because in most of the majority of these designs, when it comes to magnetic sockets, they are mainly more spring loaded. When it comes to the shallow set, I'm not quite sure of how much they are sitting on as far as the spring, but you have to be mindful that when you're using an impact wrench is moving with driving force and it's drilling forward. So if it's drilling forward and a socket is long and it has a spring, what's going to happen is the spring is going to compress. So that right there, this is why I don't necessarily understand how could that possibly be a good idea with having that particular type of design when it comes to impact graded. Okay, because I basically only use these for removal purposes. In the past, I have done a demonstration to show how weak the magnets is on the snap-on adapter sockets, testically compared to magnetic power sockets in the Snap-on brand. So what we're going to take a look at right now is we're going to take a look at the magnets, how strong they are amongst a few different items, just as well as the nut drivers. Okay, so let's get it. Okay, like I stated in the past, I have done this demonstration in quite a few videos. As you can see, this is a T50 impact graded torque that you see here. Okay, and you can see, all right, that the snap-on adapters are magnetic, but as you can see that they are really not that strong. Okay, they're not really strong at all, and for the price, you see just how fast it fell off. Now if I go to a power socket, and as you see how I'm shaking it, okay, and how I'm rocking it back and forth, and you see that the socket is not falling. Okay, these are very, very, very durable, as you can see here, and this is the snap-on magnetic power socket. When I took a look at the Duralast, okay, the Duralast locks in just as tight, okay, as the snap-ons. So the magnets on these Duralast are very good, even though it just technically fell. It was taking a little force for it to fall. Unfortunately, I don't consider the Duralast magnets to be less stronger than the Snap-ons. They're basically about the same, in my honest opinion. So as far as the magnets being magnetized to a certain degree, I will confirm that these magnets are basically type strong. Okay. Now, as far as the sockets being impact graded with having a magnet, I don't know how well that would technically do in application on driving purposes. Okay. Once again, I don't use equipment and sockets like this for driving purposes. I only use them for removal purposes. All right. All right. Now, as you can see, I have 3 magnetic 1/4-inch hex shank nut drivers out. This is the Harbor Freight item, which is made by Warriors, as you can see here. And then these 2 over here are Milwaukee. Okay, and if you take a look towards the inside at its measurements, the magnets, as you can see the design, one is being held by a retaining ring, and as you can see towards this side, that the other one is not. Okay, when it comes to these magnetic instruments, a lot of them are basically designed differently. So as you can see here with the Harbor Freight Warrior nut driver magnets here, if you take a look at the Duralast real quick. Get these two together. And this is your normal standard socket. The gold retaining ring almost looks something similar to the Duralast. I don't know if you can see the corners, but the corners are grooved off like gears, like they have teeth on the end, just as well as these nut drivers here, as you can see. As far as the magnetism on the Harbor Freights, okay, are not bad at all. All right. More enough, these items are mainly more geared more towards the carpenter's field. I don't really use these items when it comes to automotive services because, like I said, I do have my 1/4 inch hex drill driver, just as well as I have my 1/4 inch stubby with a friction ring. So a lot of times when I'm using my 1/4 inch hex drill driver, I'm mainly more going to this magnetic extension if I actually need a particular reach, okay, which here has a 1/4 inch hex shank, and there is a magnet that sits, okay, towards the center, okay, of this extension. If it will focus in and you can basically see it, all right. And then what I basically do is just use, you know, my 1/4 inch hex with adapter, give you a good look, and just lock it in like that so that I can use whatever 3/8 drive sockets and things of that nature. So, I mainly more go to this just as well as I go to my 1/4 inch snap-on extensions, just as well as I have the locking snap-on extensions just as well, impact rated, okay? But just to, give you a little informative information to some of these items right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to the tablet and I'm going to pull up quite a few things that I just happened to come across yesterday, and why I actually happened to come across them. I'm going to give you a good opportunity to see them also. So let's get it. Okay, yesterday when I mentioned about 10mm 10-piece socket sets, okay, and not just Duralast being an only distributor to sets like that, as you can see, Carlisle Napa actually has a 10-piece 10mm socket set, just as well as SK Tools. Okay, SK set is a 15-piece set 10mm socket set, which is on more of the pricey side. This mainly more would be for professional technicians. You have a lot of DIYers out there and homeowner users and things like that who are familiar with SK Tools. But as you can see, the price tag on it, depending upon how a person or individual's finances is set up, okay? If you don't use tools on a regular basis and wrench professionally, I would suggest that you go with a set that is a little bit more cheaper. But just to put the information out there, just in case you didn't know that, these sets technically didn't exist. Okay, so SK Tools do provide a 15-piece 10mm socket set, and as you can see, the price range here is $157. But the more you look into some of this equipment, you can find this same equipment for a whole lot much more cheap. It's depending upon how you are searching for it in certain particular search engines and what platforms you look to obtain them over. Okay, but this is just to give you a relatively good idea. Just as well as you can see, Gear Wrench also provides a 10-piece 10mm socket set just as well. All right, so now I'm going to move along to quite a few other things that I had came across. Unfortunately, my battery is dying, as you can see here on my tablet. I may have to put this and break this down into another video, but what I wanted to show the viewers was some specialized 12-point crowfoot set yesterday that I happened to come across, but the design of them were different, more of similar to like a half spline drive. It's hard for me to explain it without technically being able to show them to you, just as well as I also came across a pair of specialized double flex fuel line sockets. These were for the very first time that I seen these. I'm kind of mad that I didn't save the photo to them yesterday when I actually came across. I can't determine what the brand name is at the moment. I think the fuel line sockets are made by Apex Tools, if I'm not mistaken, when it came to the double flex. I don't know, if some individuals out there have seen them. If you have seen them, leave a comment in the video. I may have to find them and put them in another video so that the viewers could get a good opportunity to take a good look at them. A lot of times I come across a lot of different specialized equipment, not through regular, normal, standard search engines on platforms. A lot of times I go into Google imaging, okay, to locate certain particular type equipment that you would not normally standardly see on regular, normal platforms. So this is a good way to find certain deals and find certain items and specialized equipment that you wouldn't technically know even exist or even out there like that. Okay. But this is, how I go about doing it. As you can see, I am in Google. All right. And I just simply typed in 12-point crow's foot. But as you can see, I'm not in a shopping category. I'm in the category of images. Okay. So there's a difference when, like, say, for instance, you go to all and then it gives you, what is available at like certain retailers. Okay. And then you start to go down and then you see other platforms like Amazon, eBay, and things of that nature. It's the same thing when you go to the category of shopping. Okay. So now it gives you a whole totally different listing of all sorts of different. Are these them right here? Let me see some. Okay, this is one of the sets that I was looking at. So I don't know if you can take a good look at these. All right. I don't know, if anybody out there has these right here or they ever worked with them. Leave a comment in the description. This was one of the particular sets that I was looking at yesterday. Let's see. When I get the picture and the site to the double flex fuel line sockets that I was looking at, this was a wild, crazy design of them that I seen yesterday that I never really seen before. But if you've seen these before, let me know. All right, let me know how they hold up, how they do. Give you another good, clear visual. All right, so once again, for the last time, as you can see back here to the Snap-on site, once again, just to inform you, to let you know, when you do see Snap-on magnetic sockets, that they are not impact graded, okay? They just technically have an industrial finish. So, if you don't know, here's the specs here. As you can see, the origin of the sockets is USA. They are 6-point, just as well as I believe that you do have some 12 points that are out there also. All right. So this is the difference.